nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to advise those present that notice of this regular meeting of the Housing Authority of the City of Hoboken has been provided to the public in accordance with provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice of this regular meeting of Thursday, August 21st, 2025 was given by publication of the annual meeting notice of the authority with amendments as necessary and was sent to the Star Ledger on Tuesday, August 12, 2025 as notification to the general public of said meeting and sent to the city clerk of Hoboken on Tuesday, August 12, 2025 with a copy of the agenda to be posted on the bulletin board in City Hall, Hoboken Library, and Hoboken Police Department, and posted on the authority website on Tuesday, August 12, 2025. I direct the minutes of this meeting to state that I have announced the adequate notice of this meeting has been given as required by the Open Public Meetings Act.
Thank you. Roll call. David Edwards. Here. Anthony Forbes. I think Forbes online.
Commissioner Forbes?
Present.
Barbara Reyes.
Present.
Jean Rodriguez. Are you there, Jeannie?
I see her.
We see her online, but we're not hearing her.
Angel, yeah, Angel, can you unmute her, please?
She's muted her end.
She's muted on her end, he said.
Okay. She just texted me to have him unmute her. All right, let me see.
There she is.
There she is.
I think we've got you now, Jeannie.
Okay,
Present?
present.
James Sanford, Erica Seitzman,
Present.
Carmen Vega.
Present.
And are we ready for,
Public first. No, it's you, Director.
we do me first, I think now.
Executive, yes.
Okay. All right, thank you, everybody, and welcome to those that are here. I would like to say that I was on leave for a little over 2 weeks since our last meeting, so I'd like to thank all who pitched in to cover in my absence. Emil, Frank, Lourdes, Yesenia, Jackie, Sammy, they all did a great job, and including Commissioners Reyes and Seitzman on the various issues. Much appreciated. I did hold the Executive Director quarterly meet and greets since our last meeting at all of our sites. Many thanks to all the residents that attended, expressed their views, and the dialogue that went on at those meetings. They're really valuable to get me grounded and get me back in front of the residents to find out what's going on the ground. I hold those quarterly. On July 15th, we held our waiting list lottery. We've been building up to that for a while. Of those that have applied to be placed on our waiting list, 100 families were chosen for each bedroom size and placed in ranked order. Those that were chosen, as well as those that did not have their name drawn, have been notified. And by the way, a few have already been housed from that group. On August 8th, we held our annual Staff Appreciation Day. Thanks to all the employees that work so hard day and night. This is kind of my way to show them our appreciation for everything that they do over the course of the year. There have been some staffing changes since our last board meeting. Jacqueline Aviles, who has served as the clerk in the HCV office, has been promoted to replace Yesenia, who in turn went to the Director of Management as the HCV Section 8 manager. She'll be working under the supervision of Yesenia. And then Natalie, previously the HCV manager, has filled the vacant position of modernization coordinator. You've seen that up on my list many times. We really needed somebody in our office to deal with contracts, modernization issues. That's all been falling on Emil's lap, and kind of all pitched in on that over time. She'll be working closely with both Emil and Frank and myself, and she'll be under the supervision of Frank. We're putting under the development director that modernization contracts, things under his supervision, taking some of that load off of Emil for the future, particularly going into our redevelopment. It's time that we beefed up that area a little bit. We have met with the Nan McKay group. If you remember, you approved our entering into a contract with them to take over our certification and research process. Our target date right now is October 1st. We'll be rolling that out to everyone through the month of September. I do attach a letter addressed to Chairperson Reyes and sent to all the board members dated July 11th from Howard Coombe, the Director of the Office of Public Housing, and I attach our response as well. I do ask in our conversations that we keep that letter in perspective from the Director. If you remember, as of May 2nd, this housing authority got out of troubled status, long-term troubled status. Incredible progress. Part of getting out of troubled status was all of those issues we had going back to before I got here. Contracting issues, all those issues we've resolved. We got them resolved. We're in great shape with HUD on those. The only thing that was really holding us back was our inspection scores. And this year, we managed to, as an entire organization, pass our REAC inspections, Inspire inspections. We passed this year. As a cumulative, right? The trouble was, we are still failing at Andrew Jackson. And as I've often said, Andrew Jackson is the deepest, widest site we have with issues. Now, we have made significant progress there, but we haven't got over the hump at Andrew Jackson. And I'd also like to remind everyone that that's the reason we're doing redevelopment, is these buildings are old, and HUD understands that they're falling apart and they're old. When we went from troubled and got out of trouble, we went from one section of HUD to another section of HUD, right? So that other section of HUD got us as a brand new agency, right? So they took a look at us and said, thank you. Wait a second. Thank you, Angel. Oh, there we go. Wire's too short, my lugs are too long. Which one is it? And they looked at us and said, well, Andrew Jackson's a problem. You're a substandard performer there. We're going to send this letter out. It's a standard letter they send to housing authorities all over the country that they get as new substandard performers. So we have written this first letter back to them, telling them and informing them how we've been working with HUD in the past, how we've gotten out of trouble, what our plan is in remediating that substandard performance at Andrew Jackson, which, by the way, we think we can do looking at the data, but also reinforcing that until we're finished with our redevelopment, we are never going to reach high performer at Andrew Jackson or Harrison or CCG. It's just not going to happen. Our scores elsewhere have increased on a whole from the last inspection at 48% to this inspection at 61%, which is passing. That's great news. We've done at least a 13-point improvement over the past year, which is in the right direction. But understand that over the past years, and they do mention the board in their letter, that we have tackled infrastructure issues over the past years. That has been your focus, our focus, my focus. The infrastructure issues we had here on elevators, on boilers, on waste lines, roofs, parking lots, vacancy reduction, security, none of those count in REAC inspections. None of those. So they can come and inspect, and they don't pay attention to our elevators. They don't pay attention to our boiler systems. They don't pay attention to any of that. So all of that investment we've made consciously over the past years doesn't count to them, all right? So we understand that when they come and inspect, and probably the highest negative points we got on this inspection, by the way, was that we had in many of our units, things in the closets within 18 inches of the sprinkler head. We got points off for each and every site, each and every instance of things within 18 inches. If we'd have just improved there and eradicated that issue, we would have passed the Andrew Jackson inspection, right? So one of the things that we're proposing is we're going to be in your units more often before the inspections. We are going to ourselves go in before the inspection, say, hey, that's within 18 inches of the sprinkler, we got to get rid of that. We got to get that down. We can't be within 18 inches of those. So we're going to be more proactive on going into the units and making sure these, and you might say it's a small thing, but it's also a big thing. You don't want that sprinkler going off and having something blocking the sprinkler, right? So, but that's also something that we don't have total control of, right? That's residents and housing authority. So what we're going to do is we're going to start inspecting more, going through those units more to resolve these problems. And as we work with HUD to get us out of this next level, which is better than trouble, of substandard, we're going to put that plan into place over the next year. And you'll be seeing the results of that. So I know that's major, I know it scared a lot of folks, but I think we're on the right track in resolving that. We have talked to HUD, they agree with our plan, and we're going to move ahead from there. Comments?
Yeah, the only comment I have is, do you think that after your response that they would be getting back to us concerning your response?
I don't know if they'll get back to you as a board, I'll ask them.
Yes.
But I know they'll get back to me, and I'll certainly share it
Yes.
as we get done.
And my other concern with that letter, even Tommy, was the fact that it was addressed to me, but it was not emailed to me. It was emailed to the rest of the commissioners, and it stated that it went to the main office. So I just, my concern is that if there is anything that's going to the main office, and I usually do get it. I'm not saying that I don't, just to make sure, because I actually got the letter because Erica forwarded it to me and showed me, but it did have my name on it. So again, I think maybe they just sent it to the.
And we didn't notice your email wasn't on there, so we'll jump on that and get that straightened out.
Are we going to take questions on this?
Sure, why not? Why not?
So remind me, what is failure mean and what is passing?
60 and over is passing.
So what does it mean in terms of financing, in terms of interaction with us?
Not a lot, except that they assigned some folks to get us to help us get our score up.
And when do they come back to score us again?
A year from now.
That's my own question.
Yeah. Commissioner Everett, anything else?
The American Legion text, I have a question.
Yeah, we'll get that. Hoboken Housing Forward.
Excuse me, Madam Chair. I have some questions on this letter.
Okay.
This is the July 11th, 2025 letter that's addressed to you. You're saying you did not receive it?
I didn't receive it in my email as all the other commissioners did. It was actually forwarded to me.
Did you receive it via mail, regular mail?
No.
Did anybody on the board receive it? Because it does say toward the end of the letter, enclosure CC, and then it has all of our commissioners. So did anybody receive this on July 11th?
No. I received it when Commissioner Seitzman forwarded to me. Other than that, I didn't receive it in the mail, and I didn't receive it in my email.
Then I'm in the same boat. I only received it when I received the director's email on I believe it was the 20th.
So I think maybe we just need to update that with HUD.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to HUD about
Director,
that.
make sure that that's
Sure.
corrected, so that,
Sure.
I mean, if they're gonna send it to the commissioners, which we have the right to see, then make sure that everybody's on it.
Absolutely.
Okay?
So
I didn't receive it either.
Oh, see?
So based on this letter that was received, there was a requirement to reply within 30 days of receipt of the letter. When are we calculating the 30 days of receipt?
The date that I received it was the day that Erica brought it to my attention, and then I forwarded it to Mark. I don't even know if Mark, had you heard that letter? Or-
Yeah. We received it at the office on July 14th,
Okay.
and so our response date was August 14th, and we responded on August 11th.
Okay.
So the director, if the letter was received and addressed to the commissioners and received on July 11th, why wasn't it distributed to the commissioners shortly thereafter?
We'll have to ask HUD.
But you received it. That's not HUD. HUD sent the letter to you. You had the letter since July 11th.
HUD indicated that they had sent it to all the commissioners.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Because it said it was CC to all of us, you were under the assumption that we all received it,
I was.
correct?
I was.
So you didn't, okay. I just want to make sure that
But then
that's clear.
I also have an attachment from you sent to you last night, dated August 11th, which is a reply to Director, is it Kuhn?
Yeah.
Director Kuhn's, and that's the reply that you're saying is the one that we need to do within 30 days. So you submitted a reply on August the 11th, but you didn't inform anybody on the board?
I was informed about that.
You were-
I was informed the day that it went out. I was informed, the director was actually out. He was on leave, and it was sent to me. So I did see the.
Why wasn't it sent to all of the commissioners? This says it was written on behalf of the commissioners. I am one of the commissioners. This has been issued presumably in all of our names. Why hasn't it been sent to all of us?
Well, when I, okay.
Because I knew we were coming to this meeting.
That's
And I distributed it as part of my report at this meeting.
so but you submitted a reply without any of the input from the Board of Commissioners.
Well, that's correct. We didn't have a meeting between now and the time that it was supposed to be done, so I submitted that response
So
in a timely manner.
your entire reply to Director Kuhn was submitted without the knowledge or the input of any of the Board of Commissioners,
not-
despite the letter being addressed to the commissioners.
Let me correct that. It was not without the knowledge, because I was aware that the response was being put together. I actually, Erica and I made sure to follow up with Mark to make sure that this was going out in a timely manner. So that's not true, Commissioner Seffer. I was aware.
And what was the level of input from the commissioners, you and Vice Chair Seitzman, that was then communicated in this in the August 11th letter to Director Kuhn? What was your input?
Our input was we spoke to Mark, we went over the letter, he stated he would go piece by piece and respond to it as he should, and I do believe that everything that he stated on the letter has been done. And I mean, I don't believe that anything that wasn't there was something that was made up. I mean, I was confident with the letter being sent out. I mean,
Well, having read this letter, which has been sent in my name as a member of this Board of Commissioners, there are a number of factual inaccuracies within this letter.
okay.
This response to
Is that your
Director Kuhn
opinion?
is completely out of line, completely wrong.
We would disagree with that, and I would disagree with that, and also that letter went to them under my signature, or Emma's signature.
And we were
not-
CC'd on it.
Not the board's signature, and you're free to write the director a follow-up if you wish.
I mean, we do have the address where it was sent.
Yeah.
And I would actually advise you of that. If you're not comfortable with that, you are more than welcome to complete your own response and send it to them so that they can take it into account.
So Director Kuhn writes a letter to the commissioners. The commissioners don't receive the letter, but then you don't tell the commissioners about it. And Emil is the one who writes the response.
We worked on that response jointly with myself, Emma, Frank, Jackie. We all worked on that before I went on leave. And I was on leave when it was polished off, and Emma signed it as the deputy director. And again, we sincerely believe that all the commissioners had gotten that letter, and I was assigned to respond to that letter, and I responded to that letter.
Who assigned you?
The chair of the board.
So the two of you got together and you assigned the response to the director.
Correct. He is the director. He's the one that does the day-to-day operations of the housing authority. So yes, as the chair, I asked him, I sat with him, I asked him to review the letter, and that we needed to address every part of the letter. I did.
Madam Chair, the fallacy in your argument is that you have the authority to assign work.
First of all, that letter was CC'd to you, but it was addressed to Barbara Reyes. Let's
Yes.
make that correct.
It was.
Okay? And you're stating that you didn't receive that. That is not my fault. That is not Director
I'm not saying it
Recko's
is your
fault.
fault.
That is HUD's fault. And what I'm telling you from here on is that if you are not comfortable with the response that was given to HUD, you are more than welcome to write your entirely own response to the address that is provided, and also inform them that they need to include you if they wanted to send it to you directly.
Madam Chair, the question is, what is your authority to assign work to the director?
Well, as the chair, because the letter was addressed to me, I read the letter and I immediately went to Mark about the letter. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Director,
But the
as soon
chair
as
does
that
not-
was brought
Okay,
to my
wait a second, I
attention.
can't have any
Okay.
interrupting. Go ahead.
So, but the chair does not possess the authority to assign work to the director.
As the chair.
You are
I
a
could-
commissioner.
Oh.
We are all co-equal.
Okay.
So what is your
Well, because
authority?
it was addressed to me, I asked the director to do so. If I did something wrong, let HUD or let Mark inform me of that, and I will gladly respond to them about it.
So
Okay.
just to
Moving on,
clarify,
moving forward, moving forward.
you don't know what your authority is.
No, my
to assign
authority
work to the
is
director.
that the letter was addressed to
So-
myself, and I took it upon myself to ask the executive director, who does the day-to-day operations of the housing authority, to go over it with me, and that we come up with a response, and to make sure that everything on that letter was addressed properly and correctly. Now, again, I will not go further with this, because we're not doing the back and forth today. What I'm going to tell you is, if you aren't happy with the response that was provided, you as a commissioner are more than welcome to submit your own response to HUD. You have all the information, and when you do so, please inform them that you were not notified of the letter, that it was not emailed to you, and it was also not mailed to you. And I'm sure they can correct that, and I'm sure they will take all your input into consideration.
Madam Chair, I've made it very clear in the past, and I'm making it very clear again, that I do not agree with anything that you are doing. And you wrote this reply in the voice of the board.
I did not write the response. Again, the response came from the executive director, and it was signed as such. So I don't appreciate you, I do not appreciate you saying something that's absolutely false.
I don't appreciate
That is not false.
I don't
And I
appreciate
agree.
that. I don't appreciate that Dr. Kuhn, or excuse me, that Director Kuhn has a misimpression that everything's fine at the housing authority when it's
And
not.
again, I'm telling you that more than glad, I'm gonna say it on the microphone so we
Don't
all
use
hear
my
it.
name when you do it, Director.
Okay, and he did, I mean, he signed his name. I mean,
He said on
the
behalf of
deputy-
all the commissioners.
Listen. I am
Right,
going to
Dr.
say
Nick, wanna
that,
start
I'm
talking?
going
Ask
to
questions
say,
back and
guys, please, I'm speaking. I'm going to say it one more time. And we're commissioners, and we should act as such. So I think that's very unprofessional, you yelling across the table to an employee at that you have no control over. No, he didn't. He
said
said
that's
a
not true.
comment. He said a comment. He didn't yell at you.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
From my perspective, we're just repeating the same comments over and over again. Mr. Sanford, Commissioner Sanford, you have an obvious disagreement. Whether I agree with you or not is immaterial. At this point, you're just making the same point over and over again. Likewise, Chairperson Reyes, you're making the same point over and over again. Commissioner Sanford, you've been offered a solution to the problems that you perceive and you have raised. Therefore, I would like to make a resolution that we end discussion on this topic and move on to the next. Do I have a second from
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Wait, we need to have discussion. We can discuss that motion. So you should take greater interest in the activities of what the director is doing in your name, right? You really should, because it's putting your name on something that is very wrong. And there's something very wrong going on in this housing authority.
May I interrupt for a second?
We're having a discussion on the resolution that you submitted, and you know what? I'm done. So please, go ahead.
Great, thank you. No further comment, you're done. So I made the motion, I guess the question is there any further discussion? I'm not sure. if it's
There's no
supposed to be-
further discussion on this. The director could continue with his
Well,
executive
it's been
report.
seconded and approved, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Hoboken Housing Forward
Wait,
update.
I still have some.
Okay, we moved on.
No,
No,
from
the vote.
back and forth, I have something new to
The
say.
vote, no, the vote was called. It was just stated that we are moving
No,
on
we didn't
from
vote.
this. Yes, we did.
I didn't hear a roll call. There wasn't a vote.
He said all in favor, we said aye.
I said no.
Oh, okay, you were the only one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a quorum. It passes.
One.
You can move forward.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So it passed
Moving
on 4-1 vote, is what you're saying.
If we have a quorum, it passes,
That's
correct?
all I'm asking. It was a
Correct.
4-1 vote to end discussion on this letter.
Correct.
You could also ask Commissioner Rodriguez and
Yes, would you like us to ask Commissioner Rodriguez and Commissioner Ford?
Apparently, they didn't know there was a vote going on.
They did. They're on it. They're
Did they
listening.
vote?
They should
What was
know.
their vote?
would you like to do a roll call just for?
Yes, please.
We can do a roll call.
Okay.
David Edwards.
Well, before we get to that, I still have a question about RPM development.
No, we
Because
closed the
you said, in
discussion.
fact, we have selected our co-developer.
Commissioner Sanford, we closed the discussion. So,
Phase 1.
Executive Director, I'm going to ask you to call the vote on that vote.
David
You're
Edwards.
saying,
Yes.
Anthony Forbes.
you're saying that this is,
Barbara Reyes.
Yes.
Double yes.
Gene Rodriguez.
only counts as one.
Yes.
James Sanford.
No.
Erica Seitzman.
Yes.
Carmen Vega.
Yes.
Okay, we move on now, Director. Could you please continue with your executive report?
Staff and legal have been meeting with our development partner and establishing our framework for moving forward. We've had a number of meetings with them. This includes setting up the appropriate limited partnership with RPM to place us on solid ground as we move forward. We have been reviewing the possibilities of obtaining the second Harrison site from the city. Nothing's final on that yet. In addition, we've made a strong partnership with the HUD office, responsible for issuing the final go-ahead and what they call CHAPS in our language, for redevelopment. We've had a great meeting with them. And Mr. Merchant, would you like to brief us on anything in particular in that regard?
One thing that came out of that meeting was that the office of the RAD Resource Desk is very happy about our project. They know that it's going on, and gentleman John Ardovini, phenomenal asset to the Housing Authority. He started to give us some good advice as moving forward, and one of the beautiful things that came out of it, it looks like they're gonna reactivate Enterprise as our technical assistance. So that is huge. It was something that we didn't see coming when we lost them, and we didn't see it coming now that it was coming back. So we were actually in the process and probably coming to you soon to try to get some consultants on board through some RFP process, and this is gonna make it so that we can get it for free. And anytime we can get help for free.
It works.
Yes.
Free is good.
So thank you, Frank. That's really good news with that technical assistance. They've been invaluable to us. On project-based vouchers, we continue to work with the American Legion Group on finalizing their requirements. We had a couple of productive meetings with them, or at least one productive meeting with them over the past 30 days. We are waiting for them to come up with their final financing plan. So we just sit and wait for them to bring us stuff. This is where we are right now. Resident meetings, we did have those meet and greets, as I mentioned earlier. I continue to meet with residents on a one-to-one basis, so if anyone wants to meet with me, please reach out. We'll be glad to sit with you.
Can I ask that you please put your phones on vibrate?
At Housing for Hoboken, on our August 7th meeting, we reviewed our Hoboken Housing Forward initiative in detail with them and where we are in our statuses. We also reviewed the phase 2 of the renovations at Fox Hill. That's with our engineering firm. We got initial prices and cost estimates back from the engineering firm, and it's looking like we're not going to be able to do all the work we hoped we could do at Fox Hill. So we sent them back to pare down that work and give us some new cost estimates, starting with screen doors and some other work over at Fox Hill. The replacement of the storm doors throughout the building is a very high priority for us. Is what I've gotten from the resident meetings that we've had there. The installation of the cameras in the elevators is being funded by a CDBG grant, and we're just waiting for the final grant papers from the city. As soon as those come in, we'll be proceeding with those elevators with the city. Again, thanks to the city for that. Our special capital projects or courtyard improvements are almost done. We're really kind of cracking the whip with them. If you'll notice, the pavers are back in. They're almost complete with that. The installation of defensible space fencing is essentially complete. We're just waiting for some wiring to install the door access locks. They're going to be key card activated locks on those areas so residents can use their key cards to access those areas. The security camera installation is complete at Harrison. The hallway refurbishments are complete. The exterior door replacements, you approved a change order for that. They've all been installed. There's some final work on one door that still needs to be done, should be done very quickly. The scope of work for our rodent-resistant trash cans, the bid package is being written as we speak. It should be out the door shortly to bid on our rodent-resistant trash collecting system along with the city. The new playground equipment is being designed for the Harrison Courtyard. If you'll remember, we're going to take those two small playgrounds by the small parking lot at Harrison, and we're going to build a nice new playground inside the courtyard. And that's being designed, and we'll have that going soon. The new resurfacing at the water park is complete, yay. The resurfacing of the small play area across from 400 is complete. We've been consumed in management with the wait list opening, non-McKay, non-payment issues. I did review our wait list and certification issues above. Our parking initiative has been put in place. Every resident that's with a registered car has their own parking spot, numbered parking spot. Boy, management, you got through last week after we initiated that. There was a lot of people coming in. There was some confusion, people getting angry because somebody was parked in their spot, etc. But I think we've got everyone pretty much on the same track. I'm overjoyed with this. I think this is going to solve a lot of issues. Sammy and his crew put up some great signs saying resident parking only. And again, that person that gets home at 2 in the morning after a long shift at work, they've got their parking spot. No one can park in that parking spot. And as opposed to the come at will parking, they are now going to be guaranteed that parking spot will be open for them. If anyone is parked in that spot, they themselves can call the towing company. So I think it's a vast improvement and a lot of work. Thank you for maintenance, numbering, management for working out the details. We are progressing with our issue of dogs on our sites. By the way, we are progressing with one issue on the legal court, on the legal side on that as well, on an eviction. But we're also working with the city. We've got a list of all licensed dogs that live on our property through the city. And for folks that the city reported they've got a dog license and they're not registered with us, we're knocking on their doors, sending them notices. And we're also on any dog that we know that's out there that is not registered with us are sending them notices. Ms. Villafane will present a little bit on our court actions in process and a snapshot of our management report. Yesenia, you want to jump on in?
Yes. So far in the month of August, we had several lockouts with balances totaling in $185,000. We are set to execute several other lockouts in the month of August, and that would be totaling $187,000 in balances owed. Our next batch of non-payment cases are scheduled to be in court early September. And also We continue to urge anyone with a balance to come into the office and set up a repayment plan. Once you have been given 2 repayment plans, the third one will have to be through court. So we will not do repayments after you have defaulted on 2 repayment plans through the authority. You would have to go to the court and enter a court repayment plan. Our occupancy is at 97. That's gonna change the month of August because we are already leasing up people from our wait list. So we expect that number to go up a little in August. That's pretty much it.
Thank you, Yesenia. I would like to note that after COVID, after the courts were shut down, we have finally gotten to the point of actually doing, and we hate to do it to anyone, but at some point, if you don't pay your rent, you're going to get an eviction. And we've been successful through court on getting some of those and actually doing some lockouts and saying you can't have your apartment anymore because you owe us this money. And that is, over time, going to really improve our tenants' accounts receivable, because we're going to be able to say those folks are just written off, that we can't collect this money. We will then be going after a credit agency to say they still owe us this money, but that's the first step in getting to court and getting those judgments. And that was a long and hard road by both our management staff and the Fitzpatrick Law Firm. So thank you all for that work. It's hard work. Regarding extermination and maintenance, I'll repeat that it is essential that all HHA units be treated on a regular basis. All residents do have a choice. You can do it with a spray, a gel, or both. The gel does not have any fumes to it. It does not have any odor. It is non-toxic, but we prefer a spray. But if you want a gel, feel free to ask for that, and we'll make sure you get the gel-only treatment in your unit. I will note that we have entered a special agreement with a rat treatment exterminator this month. They are treating a number of our basements now. They are specialists in only rats. And I don't know if Sammy wants to say anything wherever he might be. But,
Mr. Rico, it's just for one building. It's a pilot. We're doing it at 540 Marshall Drive.
Thank you.
And we will have to develop a specification based on the current scope of work and put it out to bid.
Thank you.
Because it will otherwise exceed our bid threshold.
Okay. And what are they doing down there, Sammy?
Well, right now,
You want to get the microphone?
yeah. Well, right now, what we started with, which was the boiler room over at 540, which that was really affecting us, and it was giving our previous exterminators a hard time to get to them. They're laying out traps. They got special boxes that the rats are attracted to, that they will capture the rats, not just let them roam around. They spraying the perimeter of the building. They're actually more into the rat than just the regular bugs. So we're on the first phase. So far we're seeing a big difference because we're seeing them around. We're actually tossing them out as we get them. But I see it going pretty well. And it's just the first treatment, so I see it going pretty well.
So thank you for that. And I'd like to remind residents that we do know how to get rid of pests in their units. We do know how to get rid of roaches, mice, bed bugs. So work with us. But it's a cooperative on getting rid of those pests. We've got to work on issues such as housekeeping, such as not leaving food out for them, fixing any holes in the units, etc. So it's really both of us working together. But doing that, we can get rid of them. We can make that happen. Jackie and Sammy continue to be able and effective in leading our maintenance department. We are currently accepting applications for building maintenance workers. And if you have any specific cleaning or repair need, please call it in. And as you all know, if anything takes too long, you're free to use my number. So many of you know it, so feel free to use it if you've got a problem out there. Finance, operating budget to actual statement is included as my attachment 5 today. The finance professional procurement budgets and professional service contracts are being worked on by Evel and his crew. And on resident services, I think Becky is online. And I think she's almost recovered from the Clementon trip yesterday, along with a couple of our great commissioners, Barbara and Erica, who went along. So thank you for that. Becky, you want to brief us on all that?
Sure. Good evening, all. Okay, so let's see. So Monroe Gardens, I'm just gonna go through the events that I have going on right now. The normal events, bingo, pastoral care, food pantry. We have Dr. Parissima, our podiatrist that comes once a month. Let's see what else. Just bear with me, guys. Monthly birthdays for the senior citizens. We have movie nights, band resistant classes. The Red Cross is going to be at Fox Hill on Monday, August 22nd. Tomorrow. I'm sorry. On Monday they're going to be at Fox Hill at 10 o'clock. We've had some special events. We had hooping from Nunu. That went really well. It got rain. It started well, and then it started to rain. So Commissioner Emily Jabor helped us switch it to the Jubilee Center. We had the Sean Comer basketball camp. That went really well as well. We had it for 3 days. We had 2 backpack giveaways. Well, Hopes had one, and Familyhood had one 2 days later. And I wanted to discuss the Clementon Park trip. I wanted to give a special thanks to Commissioner Ruben Ramos, Commissioner Michael Russo, Commissioner Tiffany Fisher. They all donated. So thanks to them, we had, thanks to Ruben, we had buses. Thanks to Michael, we had some breakfast to give them. Tiffany bought water and snacks for them, so thank you to them. The Resident Advisory Board came out to help, Familyhood. And as you mentioned, Mr. Recco, we had 2 of our commissioners help out as well.
Thank you for that, Becky. And I just want to say, you don't realize the effort that goes into this. We took 100 children, right?
There was over 100 children that got to go to a water park completely for free. They had breakfast, something to eat for breakfast. HHA was able to get them lunch, and then we had a snack to give them on the way back.
Just tremendous. And all, the work behind that is absolutely astounding. And thank you, Becky, and the whole team that worked on that.
Right.
Andrea, the Resident Advisory Board, Family, it's just fantastic, folks. Thank you so much for all the work.
Yeah, everyone really showed up. It was really heartwarming to see, all the donations we got. Everybody was just so willing to help us out. I feel like besides the weather, it was a success. And last, I just wanted to tell you guys about our upcoming event. We have our Horseshoe Cookout this Saturday at 12 o'clock, so please stop by, say hello, have a burger.
Great. Thank you, ma'am. And if Becky is finished, I'm finished.
Director, I just have a few questions. I know a few commissioners also have questions, but In reference to the redevelopment plan, and I know that we have a promise, right, for the residents that when we are rebuilding, that it is going to be a one-for-one, correct?
Absolutely.
Now, is that in apartments or bedrooms?
Oh, it will be in bedrooms. It'll be apartments and bedrooms. I mean, we're not gonna take somebody that's living in a 3-bedroom and put them in a 2-bedroom. No way.
No, my concern is, I get what you're saying,
Right.
but my concern is when you're saying it'll be one-for-one, we can have 1,325 units, it doesn't, and it'll be one-for-one, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it'll be the bedroom sizes that are needed. So that's what I just wanted to make sure that we are absolutely transparent about that it is going to be a one-for-one in bedrooms and not specifically just saying apartments, because apartments could be any apartment.
I agree. I agree with that statement. I would make one addendum that we won't come out the other side with efficiency units. We are looking to come out with 1-bedrooms instead of efficiencies. So instead of somebody being housed in an efficiency, they'll be housed in a 1-bedroom, which is an upfit.
Okay.
Right? So that bedroom size issue will be there, will be improved. But on the other statements you have made, that's absolutely true.
I think that will be one of the concerns,
Yes.
and as a resident, I know that that's going to be a concern, so I think it's very important that we make that clear.
Yes.
And I know that moving forward, and as we get closer to redeveloping, we're gonna have meetings with our stakeholders and our residents. And again, we just need to make sure that we are absolutely transparent and that we keep our residents calm and not feel alarmed because there are people in the city and who are not for our redevelopment and are putting false statements out there. So, and I know it's up to us to fight those or to discredit them or to go back and forth. I personally don't like to, I refuse to do it on social media. I would just like to invite them to our meetings where they are open to the public and we can discuss it there. So that would be one of the things. I'm glad to hear about the rodent and the new extermination that we're having. I was quite concerned during this month. I did receive a call from a resident from 5th Street who has a 3-year-old daughter who at 2:30 in the afternoon a rat went over her foot as she was walking up the stairs. The child obviously now does not want to walk up and down the stairs. They're traumatized. I get it. I mean, the fact that she was a baby, but I mean, any person, it's absolutely disgusting. So that issue is a big issue. And I just really hope that when you're talking about, oh, we're gonna go out for bid and we're gonna get these containers, look, we're for it. But the truth of the matter is that we've heard this for months. Next month, we're going for this. Next month, we're waiting for the city. Oh, we're gonna do this with the city. I think whether we need to either do it or not do it and look for other solutions. And I'm just being honest because I sit here month after month and hear the same thing about the rodents and I get it. It's not just the housing authority, it's the entire city of Hoboken. It's not just us, but we live it every day. We live it every day. Today I'm walking to work. A rat just jumps out of a hole and passes one of our residents who was a disabled resident. She screams, she's like, did you see that? It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Like, this is what we're living with. Like, they're just out everywhere. And I know I've talked to Sammy, and Sammy does his best to make sure that the holes are covered and what we can and cannot do in those holes. But again, the holes are so huge, not only for the rats. I mean, now they're just in open spaces where if a kid is running, they can trip and fall, and it's a cause of the hole. If you go in front of 655 6th Street, right next to the basketball court, there's a huge hole. So, and I saw that this morning as I was walking there, so I think it's important. Like those holes that are so huge and so visible, we really need to do something to cover them up because it could be a liability on us when someone falls and gets hurt. So, that I just wanted to also address that, and then no, I think that's it for now for me. Commissioner Edwards and then Commissioner Stanford, you can continue.
Thank you.
Chair, can I piggyback off of one thing you said a few minutes ago?
Sure, is it okay? Okay, Commissioner Forbes, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to piggyback off of what you said earlier in terms of once the redevelopment happens, because I also have been getting questions about, is it an equal exchange for an exchange? So I think we need to be crystal clear when we send out advertisement that, there's some people now that are in bedrooms as a single occupants, and they got three bedrooms. So they need to understand you're not going to a 3-bedroom, you're going to go to a 1-bedroom.
That's correct.
So I agree with what Bob was saying, because I also get the same questions that I currently have a 3-bedroom, will I get another 3-bedroom once the redevelopment happens? And I'm saying no, you're not.
And you are correct in that.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm on the same page.
Madam Chair, just as Commissioner Forbes had done, just to piggyback on what he had said, what is this redevelopment communication that has caused so much confusion? Well, this redevelopment, this one-for-one replacement, has something been put out there?
It's just things that you hear, people that you hear from the community who talk to you. As a resident, I hear it from residents, so I feel like it's my obligation as the resident commissioner, as one of the resident commissioners on this board, to come to this meeting, to ask the question, and to make it absolutely transparent and put it on the record on exactly what it is that we're doing and what it is that we're not doing. Because they're saying they're hearing from other people. I don't know who the other people are. Sometimes they don't feel comfortable telling me who the other people are. And that's fine. The fact about they're worried about the one-to-one. What does it mean, one-to-one? Does it mean that you're going to build 1,325 units? Or does it mean that you're going to build 1,325 units according to the bedrooms that are needed and that we have currently? And that's what I wanted to make sure that we were completely transparent. Because it is true. You can say you're going to do one-for-one and build 1,325 one-bedrooms, but you're not housing anyone from housing. Right. Only the one-bedroom people. So I get where they're coming from, and obviously as a resident, I think any resident here would have the same concern. Look, we are all, most of the residents are for this redevelopment. We are very well aware that it is needed. If you walk those buildings, if you walk the grounds, if you go into people's apartments, you will understand why this is so important. And unfortunately, this could not be done 20 years ago, but now we have the opportunity to do it. And I think our residents deserve it. We deserve to live like the rest of Hoboken in a decent place. Where it's livable, where they're not living with mold, where they're not having health issues because of the mold. It's just important. And again, my job here is to be absolutely transparent, not only with the director and Frank, obviously, because he's the director of the redevelopment, but also to be transparent for the residents, because if they're confused, I may be confused about something.
Well, the residents have every right to be confused because the redevelopment process has not been transparent. And I can tell you that as a member of this board, as a commissioner, information has been withheld from me on this redevelopment plan. This redevelopment plan has been rigged. I informed you at the last meeting officially that this redevelopment plan, the selection of our PM development, has been rigged, and the public have every right and should be asking a lot of questions because there are a lot of problems with this redevelopment plan. But I mean, that letter that you sent to Director Hume saying that our redevelopment plan is going to solve all our problems, that's just not right. That's just wrong, and the residents need to know that this redevelopment plan is not transparent, and it is going to be a catastrophe.
Thank you for your comment. Commissioner Edwards?
I would again like to ask, please bring any evidence of your accusation that things are rigged so we can put this accusation, in my opinion, false accusations to rest. Bring your evidence, please.
Director Echo, I presented information to every commissioner, including yourself, before the vote on RPM redevelopment, and you specifically had me removed from that meeting. The board took action to remove me from that meeting. So don't tell me that you're about transparency.
I just want to put on the record that during that meeting, when you were removed, it was not because of what you were saying, it was the disrespect that you,
Yeah, I said he is a goddamn liar, which he is.
and you're doing it again.
Okay.
And that
Go
is
ahead.
against the Robert's rules.
No, it's
So
not against the
I have no
Robert's
problem removing you. I don't.
Go
I don't think that you being disrespectful is going to actually fix anything or correct anything, and you do it every month.
At the very meeting that I'm trying to warn people about what's wrong with this redevelopment plan,
You
kick me
decide,
out. What a coincidence.
you decide to be very disrespectful to the director. There's a way of bringing your message across.
And you decided to break
being
the law.
this,
And you decided to break the law.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Moving forward.
Don't you want to remove me? Huh?
If
Because
there-
it was
if-
much easier
if
when I
there-
was just a voice
Yes,
on the
Madam Chair, okay. Mr. Sanford, please.
commissioners.
Commission, whatever. We're asking you very nicely. You've made some comments. When you speak to others, try to pretend you're speaking to a family member or a teacher. Pretend like you're going to your pastor. If I'm talking to Rabbi Rob, I am going to be extremely respectful. That is my religion. I'm going to be extremely respectful of Rabbi Rob. So when we're sitting around the table, we're going to try, if you have a hard time dealing with people, pretend that you're speaking with a principal, somebody, a pastor, a rabbi, anybody, because we will not, you're entitled to say whatever you would like. But please do not disrespect the director or your fellow commissioners, because if you do that, I will be the first one to have you removed. So I'm asking you nicely to please give constructive feedback without the disrespect, because the feedback, we want. The participation, we want. We're not going to go through this every month. You just show up once and do this every month. We're not doing that today. So when you're here and you want to give constructive feedback, please do it respectfully. Thank you.
So to address what Commissioner Seisman just said, I'd like to speak to every person that will hear this message, members of the community, the teachers, people who are workers, families, everybody, and to let you know that this redevelopment plan is rigged, and it is wrong, and it is illegal, and I'm going to do everything I can to protect the residents from your criminal actions. Which brings up a great segue into why are you still running these meetings? You operated an illegal business.
Moving forward, Commissioner Sanford, Commissioner Edwards, it is now yours.
Thank you.
Is that respectful enough? Okay.
Thank you.
And that was your warning, because the next one you will be.
And I must take
Try it. Who's going to do it?
I must take exception to the accusation that this in any way has any criminality to it. I just want to put that on record, that it is not, and I have not seen any evidence thereto. Commissioner Edwards, back to you.
My question is primarily for Yesenia and the, what is it, attachment 3 to the executive director's report. Can you hear me, Yesenia?
Yes.
Okay. You said, just clarifications on where we're at. What I thought you said is that there's $185,000 worth of money owed to us from apartments that we are in the process of locking those people out. Did I get that correct?
No, the 185 are for the units we already locked out
Okay.
this month.
And is that 185,000 part of the 403,000 at the bottom of column 1? Or is that in
No.
addition?
That's an addition.
Okay. And how many units were locked out? That 185,000 represents a lockout of how many units?
4 units
Okay.
so far.
And then you said something about 187,000 more, or was that 187 part? Was that 185 part of the 187?
The 187 is going to be for the 18 residents that we will be going to court with in the first week of September.
Okay. So I guess then the 403,116 pending warrants, is that pending lockouts?
Yes.
Did warrants and lockouts mean the same thing?
No, lockouts are already, once we get possession of the unit and we lock out the unit. The pending, we still have it locked out.
But
It's
wait,
different.
Well, it says pending warrants. So do you have the warrant and you're pending lockout, or you're pending getting the warrant to go to the lockout?
Okay, so the pending warrants we're going to court for, the 14th.
There's 14 units that represent that $403,000?
Okay, the $403,000 are for the 12
right, for
warrants
the
pending.
Got it. All right, so right now you've locked out 4, and you're in the process of locking out 12 more, is that correct?
No, we blocked out 4, and this month, we have another 5 to go. Because out of the 12, the other ones did come up with the money owed to reinstate their repayment plan.
So that 403,000 went down, and part of that 403,000 is going to move further up in this column? You said they came up with the money.
Yes, so there was 12 in total, yes.
So
There was 12 in total, 4 of them got locked out already.
Okay.
Another 5, I expect will be locked out before the end of the month if they don't come up with the amount that they need to reinstate their payment plan, their repayment plans.
Okay. And then how long is it from the time you lock people out that the apartment's available to be rented to someone else?
So we have to wait 30 days. We have to allow the tenant 30 days to remove their property from the day they're locked out.
And then after that, you've got to go in, and depending on the status of the apartment, how much work you've got to do before you can move people in.
Correct.
Correct.
And then will these apartments, once they're locked out, go to people on the waiting list?
Yes.
Yes. Or transfers.
Yes.
So there's 9 units that are in the process of being either available for transfers or for people on the waiting list at this point. 4 that are blocked out and 5 more you said you expect to be blocked out.
Right. We got to wait that 30 days.
Right.
And then we have possession, full possession of the unit. We can then go in and start any renovation work we need to do, and then they're available for rental.
But there's 9 units very much in the pipeline for that to happen.
Correct.
And who gets the priority, transfers or wait lists?
Wait list. We do about a third transfer and about 2/3 wait list.
And then on which wait list do you use first? Because you've got like 9 or 10 wait lists, right?
Well, public housing.
Oh, right,
Talking
it depends
about
on the
public
size of the
housing
unit,
here.
I guess, that answers my
Yeah,
question.
like Fox Hill's another question.
Right, okay. So then, again, I'm back to being confused again. The 403,000 does not include the 185,000? Right?
It does include, the 4 includes the 185.
Okay. And the other?
The new amount is,
Go ahead.
the ones that are scheduled for September is the 142,000.
That's the 5 that are about to be locked out?
Okay. No, so the 403,000 is for the 12 pending.
All right, maybe I'll take it off.
And it says pending because this is for July and the lockouts happen in August. That's why you're not going to see those amounts at the bottom, the lockouts completed. Because this report is for July.
Yeah, I mean, where I'm headed, I guess maybe start at the end and work backwards. You've already answered the first one. There's going to be 9 units at some point in the foreseeable future that are available either for transfers or for waiting lists.
Correct.
And then the second question I'm trying to determine is how much of these receivables we're going to write off that's going to impact the balance sheet. And that sounds like a more confusing question at the moment.
Yeah, I think the exact amount, but I think the process will be, once we have that unit, full possession of the unit, then we can move those amounts over into a write-off category. So we wait for that.
And so I guess my last question is the number in that pool 403,000 plus 185,000 or 403,000?
That is something the Senate needs to answer. We're back to that again.
But again, it's
Yeah.
400 or
It's
600? It's an
It's
addition.
an addition.
Great, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
That's it.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Sanford.
Yes, questions? So, Director Recco, at the previous meeting in July, I brought to your attention that the selection of RPM development was rigged, and I did this in my capacity as providing oversight. And before the vote in June, when RPM redevelopment was selected, I again tried to warn everybody, the commissioners included, and yourself, that there are problems with the selection of RPM development. What actions, if any, have you taken to investigate the allegations that RPM development selection has been rigged?
I have seen no evidence of that. I was there during the entire process. The board passed that selection of RPM with a 6 affirmative votes. And if I'm provided with any evidence, any real evidence beyond just accusations, and we can always accuse somebody of something, but there is no evidence, and if you will provide that evidence, I will take a look into it. So I await that evidence to be presented to me. And again, we've offered you to go to HUD, we've offered you to go elsewhere. So an accusation is just an accusation.
Okay.
Give us some evidence.
You want some evidence? I'll give you some evidence right now. So, the selection of RPM development, you just said that you were intimately involved with it.
Mhm.
Okay. Who else was involved with that decision?
Well, there was a whole selection committee that selected RPM development and recommended that selection to the board.
And how involved was Councilman Russo with the selection of RPM development?
I don't think he was on that committee. He was not on it.
Not part of it.
So, but you are the employee that was responsible for RPM development. You're in charge of the whole committee.
Well,
You appointed the members.
I'm sorry, you're in charge of?
You're in charge of the committee, you appointed the committee.
I did appoint the committee, but the committee made the whole process. I did not in any way was involved in their committee meetings. I was not part of that committee. That committee made its independent recommendation to this board.
Well, you're asking for evidence, and the evidence I'd ask you to consider are the ELEC reports for Councilman Russo, where you contributed money to his campaign, and around that same time, you were given a raise by this board.
May I speak here?
That is the evidence that I am asking you to consider.
How does that relate to the selection of RPM?
You just said that you were intimately involved in the selection of the people who are on that board.
But Councilman Russo was not one of them. I think we made that clear.
So you're saying that the contributions to Mr. Russo had nothing to do with your selection of members of that committee?
Correct.
Well, that is the evidence that I would like to begin with, and I will be pursuing more evidence with you.
Great.
But
Send
I just want to be very clear on the record that you deny that there is any connection between your contributions to Councilman Russo and your decisions on redevelopment at this housing authority.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Now, do you recall when you and Councilman Russo participated in a hearing to remove me from the board?
Okay, this is not. I'm gonna
That's what I'm trying to do.
No. What we're talking about is the director's report. We are sticking to the director's report. You said about RPM, you have the right to provide him that information. I'm pretty sure he will move on it if there's something that is not legal, and I would expect you to do so, to remove or we go out for bid, whatever it is, if we can prove that there is something wrong. But what you're saying is redundant. We hear it every month. Moving forward, is there anything else you would like to?
You ignore the evidence every month.
We're not ignoring it.
So,
we just want the proper authorities to be made aware, because if what you're insinuating is that something illegal is happening, we have time and time again asked you to go to the police department, to go to the prosecutor's office, to go to HUD. That is their job. We are not detectives. That is their job. They have trained individuals to look into this and make investigations and go to HUD.
It's not our job to do
HUD will
oversight.
assign someone to do a complete investigation. We are not the ones who do this investigation.
Primary
So
purpose
I am
of this-
asking you,
Primary purpose of this board is to perform oversight, and you are not performing oversight.
that is your opinion. That's your opinion, and you're absolutely
So would you
allowed
like to ask the
to.
director any questions based on the evidence
It
that I brought
is,
up?
we are going to move, I just stated to
No,
him
you're
that
trying
if
to
you
shut down
provide,
conversation.
that's not true, and what you're not gonna do is put words in my mouth. I just clearly said on the record that if you submit evidence that shows any type of illegality, I would expect the director to do what is expected of him and to do whatever has to be done to remove RPM, whether it's we go out for another bid or report the illegality, because that is our job to do so. And again, if you have that proof, then go to the proper authorities and do that.
The proper authorities, one of those authorities is this board.
Okay, so move forward with the other
Chair,
ones.
you had a lengthy comment, and I'd like to respond. We are having a very discussion. We're just having a discussion.
Yeah, but the
We're trying to shut down
discussion is supposed to be,
The director
the
asked evidence.
discussion
I'm
is
providing
regarding,
evidence. I'm providing evidence. Why
the
are you
discussion is regarding the executive report.
Yeah, and
This has
RPM
nothing to
development-
do
RPM
with,
development is part of the executive director's report. Is it not? Yes or no?
With the level of accusation, I would again ask this be put in writing. These levels of accusation are serious, so put it in writing and
Ask
we
for
will
evidence, and
respond.
then.
again, you have
move on to topic.
been advised what to do. Now, moving forward, Commissioner Edwards.
And then what, right? And then what? Am I just supposed to
Moving
just not do
forward,
anything?
no, you have every right to move forward and do what you have to do.
Madam Chair.
Contact the authorities and take the proper steps.
Madam Chair.
No one's
Madam Chair,
stopping you from
You have
doing
said that over months and months and months, I bring up these same allegations.
Moving forward,
What have you-
Director,
what have you
are there any further questions for the
I have
Director's
more
report?
questions on more items of
Thank
the-
you.
of the report, okay?
Commissioner,
Okay, so moving forward.
Can I?
Yes, go ahead, Commissioner.
Yeah. Once again, I've heard this ad nauseum for months. I've heard nothing new from you, Commissioner Sanford, or from you, Commissioner Reyes, or from you, Director Recco. I again would like to make a motion that we move on the discussion, that there be no further discussion on the Executive Director's report, and we move on to the rest of this meeting.
Second. All in favor?
No, wait, discussion. So we have to discuss his motion. So we're going to discuss his motion. Now, Commissioner Edwards, okay, you're making these motions just to move things along, but also to stop conversation, all right? At what point, as a commissioner, do you ask any questions or doing investigation with the chair or any other commissioners to do oversight? All I am doing is my duty as a commissioner to provide oversight. And I am being obstructed from performing that oversight. And you don't ask any questions. Are you curious why the director gave money to Councilman Russo?
This was years ago.
Are you not curious at all?
Moving forward.
There's a question. We're debating the resolution.
Commissioner, you have the opportunity.
that Mr.
Put it
Edwards
in
put
writing.
forward.
We're giving you the opportunity.
I'm giving Commissioner Edwards the opportunity to say, hey, I'm also curious, or I'm not curious. Do you not care? Do you not care?
Maybe I've watched too much Law and Order, but I think the answer here is asked and answered ad nauseum.
So I'll give you something new to think
No,
about. I've also
No,
watched a lot of Law and
this
Order.
is, okay, we are doing discussion
We are doing
discussion on
Somebody
the
like me, raise up
motion
your
on the
face first,
floor.
Hudson, okay? I have been threatened.
We
I have
are
been harassed.
moving
You care
forward.
about that? You care about
We
my
are
safety?
moving
Does
forward
anybody care
with
about
the
my safety?
discussion on
Does anybody care
the
about me being harassed?
motion.
Madam Chair,
If
you
there
care?
is no further
Am I being
discussion, Director, could you please call the vote?
No, I have questions on.
No, the discussion, we were under discussion and we are under, there's a motion and a
All
second.
right.
Can you please call the vote?
David Edwards,
Yes.
Anthony Forbes,
Yes.
Barbara Reyes.
Yes.
Jean Rodriguez.
Yes.
James Sanford.
No.
Erica Seitzman.
Yes.
Carmen Vega.
Yes.
Moving forward.
Moving forward to Ms. Espinosa's report on this event. What was this event?
No. Point of clarification. My motion was to end all conversation on the Executive Director's report, which would include what Ms. Espinosa said. So that was the way the motion was made. That's the way the motion was approved. we should move on to
Thank you.
resolution
Public.
one.
No, it's public portion.
It's public
Public
portion.
portion, excuse me.
Wait a second. So I can't ask any more questions? You're just stopping me
You
from
had
asking any
ample
more
time.
questions at all?
We actually were very generous with providing more than 5 minutes.
You said I could talk about Ms. Espinosa. Jesus Christ.
Let me just remind the public that you have 5 minutes for you to speak. And as you all know, I just ask you guys to be respectful. And we don't do the back and forth. If you have any questions and that you would like answered and want to stick around for the end of the meeting and speak to whomever may be able to help you, that is also welcome. So our first speaker will be Sandra Smith.
Sandra Smith. Okay, my first question is, we need to fix the sidewalks because there's been incidents with the sidewalk that people have been falling. And it's uneven a little bit on that. You hear me?
Yes.
Okay. And the next one, I'm going to read it. We need to watch when they come out to clean, and I know it's a company, but as they clean it, it's still a mess, like cigarette butts all over. So we need to go back to the old way, save money, have the maintenance crew like they used to have, use the rakes to clean up all the cigarettes, butts and everything, because it looks like so filthy. That's my thing, okay? And another thing too, what happened to our bench? Yeah, I got a beautiful bench over there sitting there, it's very nice. The only thing I asked was an extra bench right here in the front, because when people has to go to the doctors, some don't have chairs, some we have to stand up and wait for the bus or the transportation to come. So we only asked for one bench right here next to the mailbox, in between with the other bench. And I thought that was going to happen.
The bench is actually in the house.
Oh, it's in the house?
Put together.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for that. That is up to date. And another thing too, we need to screens in the windows, in the hallways, because them flies, them not flies, blowflies, they coming in, and I mean they come in, when you open your door, they come right into your house. And I have a resident that is here, Barbara, the committee, that she has a picture that she wants to show in the compact. I can say that the housekeeper, when they go in there, there's furniture and stuff in there. She said it was in there for 2 days. And she has a picture that she wants to show. And while she's getting that, also too, like I said, we thank God for what some of y'all commissioners that participate, like Barbara comes around and see, Carmen will come now and then, Erica will come, and well, we welcome you two to come to see what we do in here. We do a lot of stuff in this building. I don't know if you
It's
can
2
see
days,
it.
this is in our garbage room. 2 days already.
A recliner
Can't even get
chair.
to the trash compactor or anything. It's a recliner. I don't know why it's still sitting in there.
Thank you.
But the residents keep putting furniture in there and I don't get it.
But they are aware of it, but it's just that in every different floors, they have that. And they, sometimes you can't get into it.
What floor is
So,
that?
eighth floor.
Thank you.
And we also too, with the flowers over here, Mr. Greco, the committee, like we want to do it, it's up to Sammy if he wants to help, or we can get a team and put out flowers and stuff there. So when can we get it, or I can go to Home Depot and get an estimate and bring it to you, or how, whatever you want to do, but it would be nice to beautify us. And we can't wait for the paint job to be in this building. Yes, because it needs to be done. So we can look really nice. And also too, with the work orders, they get into it, but I thought that seniors ain't supposed to pay for the work orders in here, especially when it's wear and tear. Because people has been getting bills on with their rent receipts that when they come and fix it, that they have to pay, and they upset about it. And like I said,
Talk to the manager?
well, they talk to the managers. You really talk to to the maintenance department. That's where you go at. That's where you have to handle and deal with that. But the idea is, I think I finally got my refrigerator that was in a meeting. It's a beautiful refrigerator and I'm pleased with it, even though I had to wait a while. But I think for that, but like I said, now it's the bathroom wall, but I'm just waiting, it's bulging. And that's things that has to be wear and tear that we don't pay. So I told the residents, go to your site manager first, and then you go and put the work order and let it be known. But you're supposed to go to the maintenance department first, but also tell your site manager. Okay? One question, Cheryl Malachi wants to say something, but she don't want to get up because she'll get too excited. So can I just, I don't mean to skip, but it's just one thing. She's on the list.
Yeah, I see her.
She just wants to say that in her bathroom, that when you go to the toilet, the water shoots up, which they know. And it's kind of hard because, like I said, sometimes she can't hold her balance, but you need to have that fixed. She lives on the second floor, and they know all about it. The manager, Yolanda, knows everything that goes on because we go and they tell. And the maintenance too, so it's a little bit burden on that because when it comes up, the water goes on the floor and she has to clean it up. So that's what she was asking, please, can you fix that soon? Quickly, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Larry?
Yes. My name is Lawrence Tyler. I was embarrassed to see.
I'm sorry, Tyler?
Yeah, Tyler. I was embarrassed to see because I work all the time, do everything with housing. Yesterday, it was driving me, I couldn't go on a trip. Why? I do everything with the trips. And I went last week, I paid to go on a trip. Yesterday, I couldn't go on a trip. Why I couldn't go on a trip? That's supposed to be my job, to go on a trip. I do all the events here with everything. Volunteer and put my money in sometime for the events. And I was informed that I couldn't go on the trip. I went last year. I go on all the trips to get paid. I do everything, with anything I volunteer. It's my time sometimes. Before I even got the job to work for housing, I volunteered to get the job. And then now I got a meeting with Mr. Greco, but why was the meeting, or I'm not working for y'all, then let me know why was the meeting informed to me after I got mad yesterday. Now I got a meeting with you on Monday. That meeting was supposed to have been told to me before I got mad about everything.
Okay, so we'll talk on Monday.
Yes. That's what my concern, why I couldn't go on there all of a sudden now. I do everything with housing and all the events and everything. I cook, I do the grills and everything for housing. I do the parties here, every year party come up. I get 10 hours out of a month. I'm human like everybody else here that works here. And everybody know I'm a good worker here. You can't say one worker to say, one person in the room say I'm not a good worker. Or volunteer my service. That's all I got to say.
Larry, thank you.
Thank you.
Moving forward, Timothy Freya?
How do you spell your last name?
P-R-A-Y-L-O-W.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about, elaborate a few things that we were talking about, the bathroom. My mother and I live in apartment 1D, and we constantly get the splashing up in the toilet, and this is going on for years, not weeks, not months, and I reported it, and still, nothing's been done about that. There's a lot of marijuana smoking in the building, that's coming down to the bathroom that comes to our home, cigarettes, smoking under, I don't know if people smoke in the yard or not, so I'm not sure of that, but you get the whiff of it. You know, I know there's a senior building, but the people part of this building like, you know, like the teenagers. You know, music on the balconies, speakers, you know, so I just want to bring that to your attention as well. So my concern is about the splashing. It's really, it's nasty. You know, you're on the toilet and it's coming up on you. That's not healthy. It's getting my mother sick, who's constantly being out of the hospital, being sick. I reported yesterday that her faucet in the bathroom is leaking. They fixed it twice, but it's still a problem. So the cabinet itself is becoming very mildew, so you smell the mildew, so it's making her nauseous and sick. So I'm praying that you come soon to fix that, because I don't want to see her back in the hospital. She's been in and out of the hospital with this illness, with her asthma and stuff like that. So I just wanted you to be aware of that, please. So I hope that we can get this straightened out.
Franny?
Fanny.
I'm not here to be disrespectful, but I want to ask
Can I just
a
have your
question.
last name, please?
My name is Penny Andrews.
What's the last name?
Andrews.
Andrews?
Yeah. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I'm a resident here, and I would love to know why I can't sit in the yard. I sit in the community room because I have to walk, and I have to be able to walk around. I was in the yard, and I was sitting there, and while we're sitting there, cigarettes is coming, one from another, smoke. So I asked the guy, I said, could you just move over, because my girlfriend just got an asthma attack, she had to use a pump. But what I want to know, I think at the meeting before I asked you, why would they make, common sense would tell you, why you make a smoking area at the only park that you have for us to sit in? Why? It don't seem like they respecting the seniors. I'm one of the older ones that stayed here, and I'm sick the way I am because I felt on your property 3 times. And all I want to do is be able to go sit in the yard instead of cooped up in the community room all day long. Why is they got the smoking area in the only park that they got? I just want to ask that question. I can't fix nothing, but I just like to ask the question. And I'm around here, and I have to get out and walk, because they said if I don't walk, I won't be able to walk. So I would love to go sit in the yard. And while I was sitting there, the person told me, you're not supposed to be over there.
Yes.
I said to him, you don't even live here, and you're going to tell me why is I'm supposed to be sitting here? That's all I want to say. I'm not here to make trouble. I just would like to know, when you get a chance, tell me why would you put a smoking area in the only park that you have for the seniors.
Thank you.
You're going to get old one day, remember.
Michael Russo? Councilman Russo?
It's just my fault.
Michael Russo, council.
It's always Michael.
Sorry.
Thank you, and there's a lot to unpack here tonight. First off, good evening, everyone. I appreciate having the ability to speak here tonight. A couple things I just wanted to talk about. Number one, I wanted to give a lot of credit for how the wait list has been handled up to this point. I know it's relatively new, but I've gotten a ton of calls from people that are on that wait list asking what's going on, and everyone's been so responsive. I've gotten a ton of feedback from those potential residents, those that aren't here yet. But one suggestion, if I can, is to make it a little bit more transparent, maybe putting out a transfer list as well, and talking about how the authority makes those decisions, right? So if we're doing a 2-for-1 where it's a wait list and then there's one transfer, and then there's 2 more from the wait list, and then there's one transfer. I think that would give a lot of people the ability to kind of see it for themselves. And then some of those concerns that we always hear about would go away. I think that's something that we probably have the capability of doing. So just a suggestion. I don't know what that logistically would look like, but something to put on your radar. The other thing, thank you, Director, for always talking about the upgrades and the changes that we're having throughout our authority, but specifically about Fox Hill. The one thing I missed in your report was when the work there was going to start. I don't know if you actually gave a date or not, but I know you said we had to kind of go back and look at that bid and tweak it a little bit. Do we have a potential start date, or is that still up in the air, waiting for that
Until the
information?
engineers get back to us.
Okay, all right. And then while we were sitting here, I also reached out to Director Brown about the CDBG funding to get that information back to the authority so that you guys could start that work in Fox Hill specifically. One of the other things, and this one's really big because you hear it here at the authority, but we also hear it at the council meetings. And Barbara spoke a little bit about it, that 1-for-1 ratio, and making sure that we have the same amount of bedrooms. That's one side of it. But the other side of that is to ensure that everyone has the right to return. And I know we've addressed it when I was on the Board of Commissioners. I know it's been addressed here at the authority, but I want to reiterate it again that as a council person, and potentially and hopefully the next mayor in the city, it's something that I would ensure from the city side. Right? We want to make sure that in that redevelopment agreement, we are making sure that everyone understands that it will be a 1-for-1, at least a 1-for-1, not only in units, but in bedroom size, and that every single resident has the right to return. I think that's something that we want to continue to push and talk about because there's still some fear. Residents not only here in the housing authority fear it, but even residents outside the housing authority fear it. So those are, and I had a ton more, but I'm going to leave it there with the exception of just saying to Commissioner Sanford, I appreciate that I live rent-free in your head, but a lot of the things that you continue to accuse, not only the executive director, but the Board of Commissioners and others, is just asinine, and I really wish you would at some point show what that evidence really is. So I appreciate everybody and have a good night.
Thank you. We also have Councilwoman HHA Board here. Would you like to say?
Sure. I wasn't planning to say. Do you need to spell my name? Okay, it's J-A-B-B-O-U-R. Good evening. Thank you, Chairwoman, for always running a very productive meeting. I appreciate that was not easy. No, I just wanted to come and listen. It's important to me to always take part in your meetings to hear about what concerns residents are bringing. I stand always at your service in terms of whatever I can do to be supportive of this universe and all the great work that you're doing here. Thank you, Director Recco. I know we've spoken recently about a couple of emergency situations, and you're always super responsive, so thank you for that. And for the opportunity to just say thanks.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman. So motion to close public session. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's right. Commissioner Vega had wanted to speak during public portion. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Yes, all I have to say it's just pertaining to Fox Hill. I was throwing out the garbage the other day, and as I threw it down, the compact had steak in it. Somebody just threw it there and they didn't put a garbage bag or anything. So I had, steak sandwich. So I just had to push it down. Sorry, Danny, but I just had to clear it. On those compactors, again, it's filthy.
Excuse me, can we just keep the voices down, please?
Yes.
The bathrooms, I was told on bingo day that I was there past week. I don't know what the problem is with putting toilet paper and soap and all that. I mean, it's essential that the people have that for those bathrooms. Last time I spoke about putting a camera on the 5th floor and one on the 6th floor. So it could be monitored by what goes on after 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock when you're leaving home. Keep an eye on what's going on those floors. I particularly told Mr. Greco which direction, we have to go with that. Also, I go to bingo to 455 9th Street, and that's where I go to bingo. My cousin is the president there. One of the things I wanted to mention that they brought to my attention was that the laundry room needs lights. There's some lights that are not there. And they also have an alarm downstairs which keeps on beeping all the time. The ramp is something that you may have to look into because I bring my mother there, and that ramp, I think we need a better ramp to be able to bring the elderly to that side of the building. Other than that, that's all I have to say, and thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Vega.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
So,
Madam Chair, Commissioner Vega spoke for a minute. I'd like to speak for 1 minute too. To answer Councilman candidate Russo's question about evidence, I would direct Councilman to his own sworn under oath testimony at the removal hearing where he was sworn under oath, and Director Recco was also sworn under oath, and I was also sworn under oath. And at the end of that removal hearing, I was not removed. I'm still here being a pain in your neck. So, I ask everyone to go look at that testimony. That's evidence. It's clear evidence. Anybody want to ask any other questions about the executive director or what Mr. Russo was doing to try and get me removed from the board? Because you tried to remove me from the board so that I couldn't see anything about the RPM redevelopment plan, and that's why it had to be rigged. All right? You tried to keep me out of the redevelopment. You've tried to keep me in the dark. There has been zero transparency. You tried to remove me. You failed spectacularly. And whoever's pulling your strings really, should take that into account if you ever get promoted to anything. So,
remember, be respectful.
I am being respectful.
thank you, Commissioner Sanford.
Madam Vice Chair, would you like to take a look at the sworn testimony? Because, it's very easy, right? I was sworn under oath, the director was sworn under oath, Councilman Russo was sworn under oath, and if you really want to get rid of me, just accuse me of perjury. Just accuse me of perjury. Really, it's that easy. Are you, anybody willing to do that? That's what I thought. I'm done.
Commissioner Sanford, this portion that we were speaking about had to do with what's going on in the buildings. I have sat here quietly, and I'm not really a quiet person, but I want you to understand that we have tolerated, even when I was in the audience, we have tolerated you speaking up and not bringing evidence to the table, bringing it to the proper authority. And as far as I'm concerned, and everyone else, every time we have a meeting, you're disrespectful. You do not allow us to finish what we've started here, and we're here to the resolutions that have to be done. And we have families on top of that. We have families that we have to go home to. So I ask you respectfully to respect everyone here. And if you have anything about Councilman Russo, Director Recco, that you bring that to the authority with your evidence and let them handle what has to be handled. I have sat here, now you have to listen to me. I have sat here and you continue to say the same thing over and over again. It's repetitious with you. So I'm just letting you know, please respect every person sitting here. Please, if you have anything else with Madam Chair, then whatever you're saying about her, bring it to the authority, whoever it may be, because we tolerate it and continue to tolerate you. So I want to please ask you to not disrespect anyone here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Vega, thank you for recognizing that I am consistent with my comments. And I would ask you to please consider, if you know of any information about people who have threatened me or harassed me, and who have made me feel unsafe for my well-being, please let me know. If you don't, you don't know. But
I'm gonna
please
say-
understand that I have been threatened.
Okay, Commissioner.
Does anybody care
If
that
you
I
have been
threatened?
threatened, then you should have went to the authority and made a report. And they would have been brought to court, and even if they had to go to the prosecutor's office and have criminal charges against them, but I have not ever seen anything that you have said throughout the years that I've known you. Nothing you have brought to the attention of anyone. So please,
You tell me things
please.
as if like I haven't done them. But then what,
So
right?
nothing moving forward that
do what
should
you
say
said,
allowed.
then
Now,
what do I
moving
do?
forward,
What do I do
motion
next?
to close public
What do I
portion.
do after I go to the authority?
Motion.
Huh?
All in favor?
Aye.
Nay.
Thank you. So moving forward. Resolution number 2025-0801, resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Hoboken to approve the meeting minutes for July 10, 2025, regular board meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Questions?
On the minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
So, who is the person that writes the minutes? Is it the recorder? Because I don't think it's the recorder. Who actually writes the minutes that we?
I think this question was asked before, but Executive Director, could you please reiterate and remind Commissioner Sanford who takes the minutes for this meeting?
Sure, we do these minutes kind of as a joint venture. Lourdes goes through and edits them, we review them, and take a look at the transcript and go from there.
Okay. So who creates a document? Who is the first person? Is it Lourdes or is it you?
No, that would have been Lourdes that actually creates it in her Word document.
And then who edits that document?
I would edit it.
Okay, so in essence, as the secretary of the board, you are writing the minutes?
Yeah, it's my responsibility.
Okay. And so the particular wording of the minutes is coming from you?
In the end, my responsibility, as I just said.
Okay. And what kind of record are the minutes? Are they an official government record?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. There's a motion and a second. Director, could you please call the vote?
Dave Edwards? Yes. Anthony Forbes?
Yes.
Barbara Reyes?
Yes.
Gene Rodriguez?
Yes.
James Sanford?
No.
Erica Seitzman?
Yes.
Carmen Vega?
Yes.
Resolution number 2025-0802, resolution authorizing payment of the monthly list of bills for the Hoboken Housing Authority. Second.
Motion.
Questions?
Sure. Commissioner Edwards? And then you, Sanford. I apologize, Commissioner Sanford.
Yeah, I'm looking at administrative expenses, line item number 17, Jersey City Housing Authority, Section 8, inspection, June 2025. It's my understanding all Section 8 are reviewed annually, is that right?
Ask me that again?
Sorry, all
I see the line item.
Section 8 units are supposed to be inspected annually.
Correct.
So, doing the math here, this is only 72 units done, so there are more units to be done, because if you divide, sorry, back up. If I remember correctly, it's $75 a unit for the inspections.
Yeah.
So if you
Yes.
divide 5,400 by $75, that's only 72 units, and we have 300 units or some such number.
Emily, you want to do the math for us?
I'm just curious,
it's
is
100.
it,
I understand the question.
the question is there more to be done, or have they been done? What's,
Because it's on their anniversary.
Emil?
Emma?
Yeah. So the total to be done is 200 units at Fox Hill, and then there's 160 of Section 8 units.
so 360 minus 72, there's another 288 still to be done.
Right.
And we have
Yeah,
a contract, and we have a contract with them to complete all the rest of them?
That's correct.
I don't think, is that one of the things we're approving? Did I miss that? Sorry.
Yeah, so that's to renew the the HGRS inspections for Jersey City as part of interlocal.
Okay. And so 22, then the Midwest inspections are separate. That's HUD that's doing those inspections?
No, so that's a private company and they just do public housing. So that's just on the 1,153 units of public housing.
And where did their reports go? Who are they doing that reporting for?
So those are our internal inspections that we need to have done annually. So they go directly to the authority.
To which authority?
Us, the Hoboken Housing Authority.
And that's separate from the HUD inspection that you talked about in the executive report?
That is correct. That is correct. We are required to do those inspections in-house every year, and we do those inspections, and the results of that come back to management and maintenance, and then we prioritize the work, any work that might be found in those inspections from them.
And then the next page, maintenance expenses. I'm just curious, is 65 the painting supplies? Does that relate to the Fox Hill painting project, or what painting supplies are those for?
Emil, are you on that one, 65, maintenance expenses?
Ricardi Brothers, so that is on our unit turnovers. It has nothing to do with the Fox Hill. The Fox Hill contract, the contractor, once they get in, I have a follow-up meeting with them the beginning of next week. There have been a little bit backlogged, but they will be supplying labor and materials. So this is our local 55 painting supply.
Okay. And then 71 contract expenses. I see the floor stripping and waxing services was done. I think that's the, so has the floor stripping and waxing now been done for all the units?
So it's not units, it's common area.
Buildings, sorry. Wrong
Yeah,
word.
so yes, because the contract that you approved was for about $150,000. So this was the first round.
And I guess just the feedback, the residents happy with it? Are we happy with it?
We were on top of it. I think Sammy took the lead on it, and we had a little bit of feedback for them, but they did rectify it. And so overall, it turned out fairly well.
We had to crack the whip a little bit, but we think we've gotten it straightened out.
And then my last question, under capital projects, the Clark, Kate, and Hinds, what project is that for? Was that because they're the engineers, they're the engineers, right? Yes.
Yep, and they do subcontract the architectural services, and so a lot of it is the Fox Hill. I know we don't have deliverable as far as the cost estimate. We did do a change in scope, and then they are working on Andrew Jackson, along with they're doing construction administration for the door replacement in Harrison Gardens.
And was their cost factored in when we looked at Fox Hill and the whole painting and having sufficient funds this year and next?
That would have been factored in, Emil. No, I don't think that's in the painting issue. The painting isn't in there.
Right. This is the structural.
Screen doors, structural.
Got it. And this is coming from CFP, not from operating.
Yes.
My mistake.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Sanford?
Yes, thank you. So I'm referring to page 1, item 1, Fitzpatrick and Waterman, services rendered, general legal, special counsel, 10 issues, in the amount of $280,000. Whereas the detail for this invoice is not provided in the packet.
Yeah, we usually don't provide the details on every single line item.
Have any of the commissioners reviewed the detail for this line item?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Then I'd like to make a motion to remove this line item from the list of bills because no due diligence has been performed whatsoever I have been looking at these lists of bills. I have been looking through the council's billing, and there are numerous concerns in the list of bills, and that's why I'm asking again for this line item to be removed. Motion.
Is there a second on the floor? There's no second, motion fails.
So, Director Recco, I have been requesting the list of bills detailed for council's invoices consistently for over a year now. Why haven't you provided this information?
Because I have asked you for the past months to give me a letter or an email detailing exactly what you want.
Director Recco, there are many documented emails that I have sent to you requesting specific information that you have not replied to. Be consistent with the ad hoc policy of this board to reply within 2 weeks. You have received emails. Why haven't you replied to those emails?
Commissioner Sanford, at one point, we had a long discussion, one of your typical discussions at one of these meetings.
Well, one of the times I'm holding
May I
accountable.
finish? May I finish?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Please, explain yourself.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Where it was, I made the clear point that what you're requesting and the numerous things you're requesting was so confusing. I had asked you to provide me one clear email explaining what you wanted. I have never received that email. I agree there are many emails that you have sent me. It was very confusing as to what you wanted, and for some reason you refused to make it simple. Give me an email and I'll reply to you. So let's do that.
Director Recco, what you are trying to do is to try and use this as an excuse not to provide the emails that the information that I've already requested through these emails. You're clearly obstructing. Wait, you're interrupting me.
Okay.
You're clearly obstructing my ability to perform oversight.
May I now? I clearly disagree with you. All I'm asking for you is a clear email. Do that, and we're good.
Those emails have been provided. You acknowledge that those emails exist. Why can't you go through your emails and reply to those emails?
I have an entire agency to run, as we've explained to you before, and for me to spend hours going through your multitude of emails and your reps and your questions and all of the things that you want is virtually impossible. Give me one clear email that tells me what you want, and as I've said over numerous meetings, I will reply to you.
I'll make this very clear. I've made it very clear consistently. I would like you to reply to the emails within the time frame that the board has given you, which you continue to ignore.
Again,
you have the emails. I have the written requests. You continue to ignore them, and it's probably in your best interest to reply to those emails. Stop moving the goalposts.
So we're
stop obfuscating, stop obstructing, and stop interrupting.
We're going in a circle here. We're again going in a circle. I've answered your question.
Moving forward, if Commissioner Sanford, if this makes you maybe feel any better, if you'd like to draft up the email that the director is requesting and CC the rest of the commissioners so that we are all aware, because what you're saying is we don't know what you're sending him. We don't know when you're sending it to him. So you want us to hold him accountable for something that we're not aware of. If you would like, feel free to write an email. Include all the commissioners here in your email, CC them, and then we can hold the director accountable if he is not responding within the allotted time that he's supposed to.
Madam Chair, so thank you. So you're saying that if I provide to you the specific evidence, that you will hold the director
We're not talking about evidence. What are you
No.
speaking about? You're talking about you just asked for Fitzpatrick's detailed billing. What does that have to do with evidence? I am so confused. I am speaking about the evidence. I'm speaking about what you just spoke about, the detailed billing. You're stating to us on the record that you have requested that numerous times and that he has ignored it. That's your word against his. We are not privy to any emails that you have been sending him in reference to this. If it makes you feel more comfortable and you want us to hold Director Recco accountable, please feel free to do your email and CC every commissioner here, because then guess what? We are all aware, and if your questions or your requests are not answered, then yes, we can hold
So,
the director
Madam
accountable.
Chair, thank you for clarifying that point. There's an awful lot of evidence to go through. The evidence that I was referring to is the specific evidence of the director obstructing this commissioner.
That's not what, okay.
Wait, Madam Chair, you're interrupting.
No,
Madam
no,
Chair.
I'm not, because this has nothing to do with what you requested. You just requested the list of bills. You want a detailed bill for Fitzpatrick specifically. That has nothing to do with what you're saying now. So if you have nothing further to ask, we are moving forward. And no, don't tell me to calm down. We're moving forward.
I'm trying to help you understand.
Can I have a motion to move forward from the list of discussion?
Madam Chair, I'm trying to, you asked for the.
Can I have a motion?
Motion to.
All right, there's a second. Director, could you please call the vote?
David Edwards? Yes. Anthony Ford?
No wonder he covered up your illegal business.
Yes.
Barbara Reyes?
Yes.
Jean Rodriguez?
Yes.
James Sanford?
No.
Erica Seitzman?
Yes.
Carmen Vega?
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution
I do have
number
another question on, I have a
2025.
question on Reno and Kavanaugh.
You have to take the vote now.
Oh.
Because we didn't take the vote on we didn't take the vote of the bills, or did
Oh,
we just
correct.
do that?
No, we did, this was just a motion to close discussion.
Close discussion, now you have to take
To close discussion on item
On-
one.
on the-
I have
on-
a question on item
No,
two.
on the list
No,
of
on the
bills,
list of
I
bills.
So
stated.
you close discussion on all the list of bills.
Correct.
So you're
Are you
preventing-
listening to the same meeting that we are
Are you?
doing?
You're preventing me from
I'm not
asking
preventing
questions
you
on the
from
next
doing
line item?
anything because we're not preventing
stopping
you.
Wait, excuse me,
Stop me from
Madam
asking
Chair, may I say something?
Absolutely.
So why didn't you come to the committee meeting, that we put you on the financials? The financial committee meeting, which is a and you denied that committee. That is
Now you
where
have
you
your
get
question.
all the information. So if we were really withholding things from you, why would we invite you? Because our financials are the most important thing that the authority has to offer, and you're on that committee, you would see it first.
And to date have not been
Sure.
present at that committee.
Absolutely, and I will
Okay.
direct, Madam Vice Chair, to my comments at the end of the last meeting in July, and I'm going to paraphrase myself and just clearly state that I will not participate in any of your meetings. You cannot get me to be involved in your little criminal enterprise.
Thank you. So moving forward, now can we please have a motion to vote on the list of bills?
Motion.
We did that.
Now call the
Second.
vote.
David Edwards?
Yes.
Anthony Forbes?
Rev?
He's muted.
Yes.
Barbara Reyes?
Yes.
Jean Rodriguez?
Yes.
James Sanford?
No.
Erica Seitzman?
Yes.
Carmen Vega?
Yes.
Resolution number 2025-0802, resolution authorizing the payment of monthly.
To extend the contract.
Yeah, correct, I'm sorry. Resolution number 2025-0803, a resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Hoboken to extend the contract for the maintenance and servicing of boilers and associated mechanical equipment.
Motion?
Second.
Second.
Questions? Concerns? Director, call the vote, please.
David Edwards?
Yes.
Anthony Forbes?
Yes.
Barbara Reyes?
Yes.
Jean Rodriguez?
Yes.
James Sanford?
No.
Erica Seitzman?
Yes.
Carmen Vega?
Yes.
Resolution number 2025-0804, resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Hoboken to extend the contract for exterminating services.
Motion?
Second.
Can I ask a question? Yes. Exterminating services, what are we exterminating?
This is our regular extermination. Please.
Can you,
Commissioners,
Oh, I thought it was a good joke. It's not funny, I take back,
Please, may I
I take back the
speak?
statement.
Please, may
No
I
problem, I
speak?
take it back.
Again, these continued accusations, I find are escalating that we have a criminal enterprise here. I see no reason
And I believe that we should all take offense to
that
that.
we should. And then for him to interrupt me here and
Kick
say
me out.
that we're exterminating the truth is
Yes.
absolutely offensive.
Absolutely, you
And
should.
untrue.
It is offensive.
And I believe, I'm not one of the board, but I believe it raises to removal of this commissioner. I will go
Remove
on.
me. You tried before, you
I
failed.
cannot.
wait.
A resolution of, this resolution for exterminating services we do regular exterminating services on a regular basis in all of our units in our common areas. So this company is at our service. They do all of our offices, all of our units on a regular basis. They go to every single unit with an extermination service. They do our regular bed bugs when we have those special calls. They come in for those special calls. If a resident calls and says they've got a special extermination issue, they will come in and do that.
So this is non-rat related?
Well, it's only rat related in essence on a regular rat problem, right? So they do put out rat traps, they do. But our situation, and we've worked with the city on this, is beyond just a regular rat extermination issue. We decided we need to have the specialists in. And that's where we're looking for a rat specialist to come in and do that project we talked about before on a sample basis.
So if that pilot is successful, will that impact the work these people do over the next year?
I view that as a completely separate function on a separate contract. They would continue to do their work because we always have to do their work in all of our units, all of our common areas. But the cellar rat problem is a whole different problem. And that's where we have to first attack. The rat problem is in our cellar areas.
So the other company is dealing exclusively with cellars? Cellars as in CEI?
Yes. CELLARS. And they also do the perimeter of the buildings. So those areas where the holes are that Barbara mentioned, they will also do anything that they need to do to aggressively attack the rat problem.
So before we hired them, who was addressing those areas?
Our regular exterminating company that we're approving an extension tonight, which according to their scope of work is just putting down their basic traps and coming and cleaning up those traps on a regular basis.
So where I'm headed is, if we hire the other people, it sounds like some of these people's work will be taken over by those other people.
No, just the rat.
We will still want them to do their regular basis. If this other company is successful, this company will still do their regular work, but we want the other company to come in and, if you will, do a blitzkrieg on these rat issues.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Where were we?
Sir, you had the question?
Madam Chair?
Yes.
So I think I can explain with the rats. So when you rent in a non-public house, you have to agree to the exterminator coming in every month, a regular exterminator, and I probably had one of the worst rat problems that was not in the housing authority, and that was, so they tried another exterminator on top of that, working with the city. So what the original one still comes just once a month and just comes sprays, or I've been in jail because I have a dog, to make sure that I don't have bugs or bed bugs or ants or anything like that. And they, as a tenant, I must sign and agree that they can come on a monthly basis. Thank you.
Okay. Director, could you call the vote?
David Edwards? Yes. Anthony Ford?
Yes.
Barbara Reyes?
Yes.
Gene Rodriguez?
Yes.
James Sanford?
No.
Erica Seitzman?
Yes.
Carmen Vega?
Yes.
Resolution number 2025-0805, a resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Hoboken to extend the contract for the trash chute maintenance services.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
I come back, this is trash chutes.
Director, call the vote.
David Edwards? Yes. Anthony Ford?
Yes.
Barbara Reyes?
Yes.
Gene Rodriguez?
Yes.
James Sanford? No. Erica Seitzman?
Yes.
Carmen Vega?
Yes.
Resolution number 2025-0806, a resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Hoboken to increase the amount of contract for courtyard improvements, fencing at Harrison Gardens.
Motion.
Second.
Questions?
That's it.
How many times has this vendor requested increases for this particular work?
I think for this particular work, there's never been a request for an increase, but there have been increases on the overall contract.
How many increases on the overall contract.
Emily, you got that at your fingertips?
So they have, just to clarify, they have requested increase for soil removal. And this is an additional soil removal change order related to the change in scope of work that North Hudson Sewerage Authority wanted. So there was more work. It would have been nice that when we brought it to the board in June, that was brought to us. But yeah, this is the 10th change order.
This is the 10th change order?
It's listed.
Yes.
It's listed on the resolution.
So, according to the, well, let me rephrase. What was the original resolution or contract amount?
$750,000.
That was the original, and what is it up to now?
So right now, this proposed increase will bring it to $967,068.81.
And by what percentage is that an increase over the original?
It's right in the resolution. It's 28.94.
Well, it is in the resolution, but I need you to say it on the record, the public record. So it's 28.94. Is that consistent with our procurement policy?
So I might ask if we have Attorney Fitzpatrick on the.
Madam Chair, I've been with you all night, but I wish you belated good evening because I haven't had the need to say anything. I'd be glad to comment on that if you'd like.
Sure, absolutely, please.
Yes, it is consistent with our procurement policy. There is a regulation of the state of New Jersey that says that there is a desire on the part of the Community Affairs Department to keep all change orders within 20% of the original amount. However, at the June meeting, a resolution was adopted by the board to increase it over 20% for a similar reason to what's before you tonight on this very contract. And there is a procedure under the regulations that permits us to do that and thereby be within the process to which our procurement policy applies and permits. This will be another similar resolution, and if the board is in the opinion to adopt it, it will be over 20%, but it will be totally appropriate, and ultimately will be reported when we do our accounting at the end of the year to the Department of Community Affairs in accordance with their regulations.
Okay.
Councilor Fitzpatrick, welcome back. I did not know that you were on the call. You do not appear as a name listed on the screen.
He was here the whole time.
Well, I was here before you were, Commissioner.
I'm just saying you don't appear on there, so I didn't know you were here.
Well, you're welcome to be back. I was here before you were.
Okay. So, Councilor Fitzpatrick, what
I would ask you to direct the question to the director.
Well, I'm directing it to council. As per council's contract with the authority, commissioners are allowed to ask questions of council, and I'm living up to the contract that council has provided me, and I have every right to ask questions of council and to get advice on legal items. That's my understanding of your contract, Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Not that you do it during a meeting. If you have a question, send me an email. You've done that many times before.
Yeah,
we're on this subject of this resolution right now. If you have a question and you want to direct it through the chair, and she says for me to answer it, I'll be glad to.
All right, so Director, or Mr. Fitzpatrick, how was this particular resolution originally sourced? Was it through a bidding process? How did we get
the resolution or the contract?
The contract. No, it had to be adopted by a resolution. What I'm getting at is it started out.
Yeah, but you're talking about how was the contract sourced? Resolutions aren't sourced.
Was there a bidding process?
Yes.
Okay. So My concern is there was a bidding process on a contract that was for $750,000, and now there appears to be no oversight or nothing stopping from this contract.
This isn't a question
to
for
go
me,
up.
Commissioner. This is a question for the executive director, and to the extent that it is appropriate for him to answer, Mr. Katsara, not me.
Okay, so Director, where does this end? How many extensions are we going to add on to this contract? We're already 28% over the original.
So I think we're pretty close to the end of this, and the real story here has to do with the Hudson County Sewerage Authority. The complications in attaching ourselves to the Hoboken sewer system have been immense. Some of you may have familiarity with the wonderful condition that the Hoboken sewer system is in. So that's number one. Number two is until you start excavating, you do not always know what the soil conditions are under that area that you're excavating. And the Sewerage Authority required us to take all of the dirt that was dug up under their direction that we had to do this, to be taken away to a remedial site. And there's just no way to know that when we originally bid. So our engineering company, who's been watching this closely, I take exception to say there was no oversight. There was a lot of oversight here. We were with this contractor all of the time. We know what the Hudson Sewerage Authority required, not only our staff, but also our architects and engineers that have studied this and approved it as to price and scope. And unfortunately, we didn't want these costs either. But these are real costs that happen to the project in order to complete the project.
So that's what you've said is a little confusing. So you have the contract is originally for courtyard improvements fencing at Harrison Gardens, but you just mentioned that there's additional costs for connecting the housing authority's plumbing to the city of Hoboken.
Because it was in the courtyard where they excavated when they were fixing.
So that's actually in there? Because that's not what I thought it was. I thought it was more of a landscaping in the courtyard.
So I can answer that. Once we started to pull up the old courtyard surface, we had to get the permits. We had to deal with drainage flow, where the water was going. We had to then get involved with how the old sewer system was put in 70 years ago, and how it connected to the sewage system out in Jackson Street. So it opened up all of that to the permitting and to the city and to the county and to the Sewerage Authority. So it's not just like you retiled the floor. Once you started to pull that up and started to redo that, we had to deal with all of those drainage issues and sewer issues.
Okay, so there's two issues with that. One is the contract continuing to be increased, but the second issue is who authorized the authority to go from the authority's grid onto Hoboken's grid? Because that doesn't seem to be in the scope of the work.
All of our drainage goes into the Hudson County sewerage. I mean, all of it goes there.
Well, you said the Hoboken grid, not the Hudson County.
Okay, the grid. Okay, the grid.
But if everything's already connected, then why are you doing it?
It's not. It was connected, but and may I interrupt?
Yeah,
it was connected. But if you ever lived here, you would understand how that courtyard gets flooded when there is a storm, okay? So obviously, if we're going to fix the courtyard, you have to excavate it, right? And when you're excavating, here you go with all the piping that happens across town, because we see breakages everywhere all the time. We realized that in order for us to fix that courtyard and alleviate the flooding that happens there, because it would only ruin everything that we put into it. This needed to be done, and the sewer, am I correct? And the sewer company had to become involved because we have to, that is something that is their, am I right?
Correct.
That's what they handle, and they had to tell us how to do it, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
So at what point did the authority make that decision?
Well, the engineers and the contractor made that decision,
Okay,
correct?
they're not the legal authority here.
The authority made the decision at the design phase, on the onset.
When did we approve that, Emma? What was the resolution or the dates?
Yes, but there were changes that needed to be made during the process.
So we approved the initial contract in August of 2024.
Yes.
It's written right there.
Yeah.
Correct.
First line.
But the changes to our plumbing and sewer, when was that made clear to the board?
Every time we approve a resolution,
Well, it was obviously not that clear.
well, obviously, we're not paying attention.
I was paying a lot of attention.
Obviously, we're not.
Mr. Sanford, at our last meeting, there was an entire discussion about exceeding the 20%. It was a resolution that was before us. It was discussed. The oversight of this activity is handled not only by the Housing Authority, but there's a letter that you'll see behind it from Land Associates, who's our engineer and architect who reviews it. So to say there's no oversight is an oversight. And this has been oversighted. We have approved this on multiple occasions. You've been here for us.
Oh, no, I haven't
He's voted
been
no
here
for
to
every
meeting to
resolution.
remove me, which is, I think council
Okay,
said was
moving
June.
moving forward,
Not the last meeting.
moving
Last
forward.
meeting was the July.
We're closing discussion on this. Director, could you please call the roll?
Council said June.
Madam Chair, if I may, I hate to burden this with any further discussion, but I have a typo I'd like corrected for the record, and I'm sure that Director Recco will reflect it in a revised version of his certification. In his certification on his third line, he refers to the land letter that Commissioner Edwards just referred to with a date in July. The correct date of the land letter is August 19th. It's also provided to the commissioners in the package. It's just the date that is in the certification should reflect August 19th.
Thank you for that correction.
Yep, that's my mistake, sorry about that.
Thank you, so can we correct this?
Ready for the vote? David Edwards?
Yes.
Anthony Forbes?
Yes.
Barbara Reyes?
Yes.
Jean Rodriguez?
Yes.
James Sanford?
No.
Erica Seitzman?
Yes.
Carmen Vega?
Yes.
Resolution number 2025-0807, a resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Hoboken to authorize an agreement with the Housing Authority of the City of Jersey City for HQS inspections of HCVP apartments and an annual RAD OCAP calculation for Fox Hill Gardens.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Discussion?
Commissioner Sampson.
I'd like to bring to the attention of the board a possible conflict of interest with the JCHA, and I would ask that we table this resolution until it can be investigated.
Sure. Put the motion on the floor.
So I'd like the motion to table resolution number 2025-08.07.
Is there a second? There isn't a second motion. So we
Okay,
move forward.
so I still have questions about this resolution. So, Director, who is our point of contact at the Jersey City Housing Authority?
Emma, do you want to, who are we dealing with mostly there? Grace, any?
Yeah, let me see if I can pull up,
Yeah. I can't remember. Yesenia?
I think it's Patricia Ramirez. Yesenia, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, Patricia Ramirez.
Thank you, Emil. Can I ask you another question, Emil?
You can ask the director.
Okay. I guess every other commissioner can ask him.
Oh my God.
So, Director Recco, this agreement, what does it do for the Hoboken Housing Authority and the Jersey City Housing Authority?
Inspections.
So what it does for us is it meets our requirement to inspect all of our HCV units, our voucher units that are out there, as well as our Fox Hill units. When we are doing our Section 8 voucher program, we don't have enough units to be able to hire our own inspector. It doesn't make sense for us to hire our own inspector. So we contract that out to a larger program that has inspectors that go around and do their larger program. So we're kind of a small subset of their larger program. For the Fox Hill Gardens inspections, since we manage Fox Hill Gardens, we need an outside agency by regulation. But we can't do our own inspections at Fox Hill. So we need to have an outside agency to do those inspections, and they are an approved housing choice voucher program. So it really works well for us to be able to bring them in and do these inspections for us. It actually saves us money because we don't have to hire somebody and pay them benefits, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They send their folks over and they do a great job for us.
So the Jersey City Housing Authority we are in essence hiring an inspector from the Jersey City Housing Authority?
Well,
or is it a third-party vendor that they're working with?
No, we're contracting with them to use one of their in-house inspectors.
In-house inspectors?
Yeah.
Okay. So they have in-house inspectors, but we don't have in-house inspectors because we're small.
Correct.
Okay. And who is the in-house inspector that will be doing this inspection?
Oh, that's up to them to assign one of their inspectors.
Okay. Do we know who those inspectors are?
No, I don't know their names.
Is that information that you can obtain?
I'm sorry, is that
information that you can obtain, the names of the inspectors?
I would think that when they notify us that they're ready to do the inspections and have somebody show up, we would be glad to share those names, but we don't know until they actually come and see us.
So you said something about this being cheaper. So does this cost the housing authority any amount of money?
Yeah, we pay the Jersey City Housing Authority for this service.
Do we know what that amount is going to be?
Yeah, now what's that amount in the end?
For each unit that they inspect, it's $75.
Yeah, there it is.
$75.
It's in the attached contract.
Per unit. And so this agreement, how was it drafted? How was it created? Was it done through Emil and yourself, or was it done with consultation with the Fitzpatrick Law Firm or any of our attorneys?
It is an interlocal agreement, and Emil, you want to comment on that?
Sure. Yeah. So Jersey City Housing Authority has drafted it. We've executed in the past. Attorney Fitzpatrick has reviewed it. There have been no comments, and we've moved forward with this agreement for a number of years.
So JCHA drafted it? Is that what you said? Was that?
Yes.
Okay. And did their attorney review it?
I'm not sure what their review process was like.
Are you aware of who the attorney is for the Jersey City Housing Authority?
No.
Is that information that you could gather?
I'm sure you could gather that if you requested.
It's not my job, it's his job.
Oh, Barbara, just be respectful.
I am being respectful.
No, you're not.
I'm having a conversation with Emil. You two are interrupting.
You're not being respectful, and this is, if you come to the procurement, if you come to the
The question simply is.
I'd like to weigh in on that.
Absolutely. Director.
Can you
And
get
that
the
is the
information?
Jersey City Housing Authority's business, not ours.
Thank you.
It is not, so,
We are comfortable with this agreement. Our attorney has reviewed it, and how they review it is their business, not ours.
so then I have a question for our attorney, since our attorney reviewed it. Council Fitzpatrick, are you aware of who your counterpart is at the Jersey City Housing Authority who may or may not have reviewed this contract? Do you know if they reviewed this contract?
Are you asking Fitzpatrick?
Yes, I am.
How would I know that? This is a contractor. We don't ask contractors who their attorneys are. It's none of our
No,
business.
it's an agreement between
They have a
two
lawyer,
houses.
they don't have a lawyer, it's up to them.
You don't care?
Not a matter of don't care, it's not part of the purview of this process. This is a standard shared services agreement between two agencies, two public entities. It's a specific provision under our procurement policy and New Jersey law. They presented us with a contract. It was acceptable to the authority. It was acceptable to me. We've been using it, as has been said, for many years. It's been before the commissioners and voted on for years. Nothing has changed. Indeed, the question of the amount per unit already came up earlier tonight when Commissioner Edwards asked it. It's not new news at this point.
So,
All the way around.
Council
This is nothing new.
Council Fitzpatrick. So, just to clarify, you don't know who the counsel is for the Jersey City Housing Authority?
Let me ask a question. Do you know who it is?
I'm not here to answer your questions, you're here to answer my questions.
Oh, well, I'm here to answer yours and you're not here to answer mine. Well, that's ridiculous. Talk about disrespectful. If you know something and you want to talk about it,
Okay,
talk
motion to
about it.
close
But don't
discussion
bring
on
it-
this
I
resolution.
want to know who is the counterpart at the Jersey City Housing?
Director, could you please call the vote? This is nonsense. Call
How
the
many
vote.
years has this contract been going with JCHA? How many years?
Commissioner Edwards?
David Edwards.
Yes.
Anthony Forbes.
Listen, we didn't have, is this a motion to close discussion?
Yes, on this resolution, correct.
This is a vote on the resolution, isn't it?
No, this is to
No,
close
to
the
close.
discussion.
Okay, David
Okay, so
Edwards.
discussion on the
Dave.
motion to close, discussion on the motion to close. I have just these two questions, I would just.
No,
like
you
to-
were given, first of all,
vote.
as you are aware, there's a policy that you have 5 minutes to ask the question. You tonight have been given more than 5 minutes to ask all your questions. So at this point, we are moving forward, and Director, again, call the vote to close the discussion on this.
We're supposed to have a discussion on the resolution. We haven't had a discussion on the resolution, and I'd just like to know how many
Director?
years we've been doing this contract.
Director?
David Edwards.
Yes.
Anthony Forbes.
Yes.
Barbara Reyes.
Yes.
Gene Rodriguez.
Yes.
James Sanford.
No.
Erica Seitzman.
Yes.
Carmen Vega.
Yes.
Director, I now ask you to call the vote.
Excuse me,
Yes,
woman, can I
correct.
please say something?
Correct, as long as it's not regarding this resolution, Jeannie, because we just closed discussion on it.
Okay, and, well, no, I just wanted to tell James, he was on the board with the same company when he was on the board with Carmelo. And it's
Thank
the same
you.
company.
That's what I got.
Thank you for bringing
Moving
up
forward,
Yeah.
moving
You
forward,
brought it up.
Director, call the
You brought up
resolution.
Carmelo.
No, don't do it.
Do you want to go there?
We are.
No, we're not going there, we are not bringing
Yeah,
that up,
yeah,
and
yeah,
Director,
taking
call
the
the vote.
You guys don't want to go anywhere near the truth.
We are now taking a vote. Dave Edwards.
Yes.
Anthony Forbes.
Yes.
Barbara Reyes.
Yes.
Gene Rodriguez.
Yes.
James Sanford.
No.
Erica Seitzman.
Yes.
Carmen Vega.
Yes.
Motion to close? Motion to, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, have a good night, everyone.
No.
Thank you.
You too.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.